Welcome back to Eric the Entrepreneur, again also known as ETE. This video is again another obvious markup to show you how can you start investing. Again, this is not advice, this is information, just getting it out there to you guys to let you know how I started and kind of some things that I didn't know how to do, but I put into place this way so you guys can kind of get a good start and get the ball rolling. I find that this video will be super helpful, especially being this early in the channel and giving this information off first. I know there'll be more subscribers coming on later that'll see it late, but again, these videos will always be here. So I encourage you guys to go back, look, take notes on anything that you find valuable, and I'm just gonna keep feeding you guys content. All right, first off is something that I've touched on before. This first principle is very important. You'll find that a lot of wealthy people will tell you that they live by it, and if they don't, then I guarantee they're doing it without calling it this. I've been doing this for a while without knowing that I was doing it, and the whole concept of paying yourself first doesn't really make sense until you start paying attention to the details. And so what I have down here is take a percentage of what you make to pay yourself, and when I say pay yourself, I mean pay your future self. So again, that's savings account, investing like what I'm about to talk about, and anything else you can really think of that will help you in the future instead of now. And that kind of goes along with the term deferred gratification, like I've talked about before. This is big because you have to do something different in the present day to make your life different in the future. And that's a big deal when it comes to investing, because you have so many people pulling at your pockets. As an employee, if you've ever looked at your pay stub, you see all these different things that are taking money away from you. And I know a lot of people in my generation have probably never even looked at their pay stub, but you got a lot of people that are pulling out of your pocket, and what you net is nowhere near what you should be netting, because you don't even see the benefits of that money going away, even though they tell you that there are. And so one of the principles that I tell myself all the time is, Eric, if you can't pay yourself, then you're living above your means. If I can't find a way to get my income and put money aside for the future, then there's something I'm doing wrong in my life, and I really need to downgrade on what I'm doing, because I'm living well above my means at that point. And that's where this 3 to 6 months comes in as well. It fits right in with it. The 3 to 6 month emergency fund is important, so you're not stressed about what you're investing when you actually get into the market or whatever you decide to invest in. If you have your 3 to 6 month emergency fund, I've even taken it upon myself to go a whole year in advance. I've got a year saved up of what it costs for me to live month to month, just so I can feel secure in my investments, do things different than what I was doing before, to make sure that when I throw money into the market, or if I decide to go in on a real estate deal or do something like start a business, then I've got something to lean back on just in case something goes wrong, or when something goes wrong, because the market is very volatile and you can't predict it. And so one thing that I say in that is keeping your cash flow positive is huge. And by that is the same thing that I was just talking about. Your income has to exceed your expenses. What you net has to be higher than your expenses for your life to make sense. And if you want to explain financial literacy to somebody, or even accounting, then that's basically it. Your whole life of financial literacy is nothing but a balance sheet, or an income statement. And if your expenses exceed your income, then you're doing it wrong. All right, and next is kind of where we get into it. This is big as well. This is something that I pride myself in doing, investing in yourself. Investing in yourself, if you probably see me wear hoodies, t-shirts that say this, and if you've talked to me personally, then I say this all the time as well. Investing in yourself is huge, because without yourself, then you're not doing a whole lot anyway. And so this looks like a lot of different things, but three that stuck out to me that I have down are books, studying, and seminars. Books are huge. Again, as you can see in the second video, I shared some books about different things that have helped me in different ways and places that I've got my information from. They're very helpful. Again, I got an uncle that tells me all the time, Eric, if you want to hide something from somebody, put it in a book. It is so unpopular nowadays to open a book, but there's such good information in books and different things of that nature to help you help yourself. So self-help books, personal finance books, all that stuff, or even spiritual books to help you get ahead or make you feel better about yourself, or do better in life. That is a form of investing in yourself. And then studying, obviously I push self-education all the time. Being self-educated is good. Fact check yourself. Use reliable resources. Use information that'll help you stay ahead. And then seminars, and that could look like actually buying a pass to a sit-in seminar where somebody's speaking over you, or buying curriculum. There's people that release curriculum all the time, kind of like what I'm doing. Mine's free though, remember that. So hold on to that as well. But this is investing in yourself. You sitting here watching these videos, that is a form of investing in yourself, because you're just gonna do better because you're actually taking the time to build habits to help you in your future. And again, that's another form of paying yourself too, if you want to consider it that as well. Your niche, business, or career, this is second, because you can't do well in that without investing in yourself. But it is such a big deal, and such an important thing to do when it comes to investing in this, because if you are working a job and you're not doing anything to better yourself, promote yourself, or make you feel better about your job, or even just be better at your job, then you're going to be on a treadmill for the rest of your life. And I know that sounds dramatic, but once you enter the workforce or see the world of work, and if you're there, you've seen it, there are so many people that get so comfortable, and maybe not even comfortable, but maybe just kind of lackadaisical about where they are, and they're not even putting in any effort to succeed in any other way than just what they're doing right now. And that may be a form of laziness, and that may just be discouragement. And if you're not investing in yourself or in your business or career or whatever you're doing, and you're not going to do that, you'll appreciate it a lot more if you put more time and effort into it, just working on your craft, and you become more valuable when you do that. If you have a business or a side hustle and you put time and effort in studying, and you buy courses and you get educated on those things, then you are an asset to somebody, or even better yet, even just yourself. And that's a huge deal, and that'll help you in life as well. I'll put e-commerce on here specifically because e-commerce is something that's blowing up, and I'll do some more videos on how these things work, especially with e-commerce, because that's a real special one that my generation is getting into, and that can be real helpful to a lot of us moving forward, as far as side hustles and things like that. All right, now this is kind of the meat and the potatoes of the plate. Real estate, stocks, bonds, and then real estate investment trusts, or REITs. These are all things that are what I consider the bulk of the market. This is what a lot of people are into, some less popular than others, but these are all ways to actually physically invest your money and throw it into the market and watch the lines go up and down. That's what I say. These are good ways to, of course, build wealth. Not the only ways, but great ways. Everything else that I've talked about is a way to build wealth. But I'm not going to go into these specifically. I'm just going to tell you different platforms that you can use to get started. And I'm going to start with Robinhood because that's probably the most popular one that you guys have seen. If you need the link to Robinhood, hit me up and I'll text you a link and we can both get a free stock that way. If not, you go ahead and download it, and it's very simple. You're going to be able to look at all the markets that are available in public, and be able to buy shares. And now you can buy fractional shares. So if a share is $5 and you don't want to spend $5, you can buy $1 worth. It's super simple, literally as simple as that. I'll do more videos on how exactly the stock market works, or how to buy stocks, or what it looks like, or what it actually means when you're doing it. But you're literally buying a piece of a company. No matter how small or large it is, you're buying a piece of the company, and when it grows, you grow. And then other apps include Cash App and Coinbase. Coinbase sounds like it is. You got cryptocurrencies on there. And I've got some money invested into cryptocurrencies as well. If you don't, I highly recommend it. I'm not telling you to go do it, but I highly recommend it. As you see, Bitcoin is super popular right now, and Ethereum and a few others that are doing pretty well. They're all great ways to get started, and that looks kind of like the route that America especially is going. But this whole cryptocurrency fad, if you call it that, I don't know how much longer it'll last, but it's doing great right now. I'm not going to give any predictions on that. But Cash App as well. Cash App is another app that we use to trade currencies back and forth. So it's pretty good too, because it's already a trusted app with your account information. But you can invest on there as well. And then my favorite, TD Ameritrade. I've just started using this not too long ago, but it is more fitting for me because it has everything available to me. As far as IRAs, real estate investment trusts, bonds, stocks, 401ks, anything you can think of, this thing has an account for it. It's a little more complex than the others because of that, but it's very fitting. I don't have to go into a financial group to check my statements or accounts or call anybody, even though some of those have apps, but I got it all right here. So I can trade on here. I can buy and sell month to month on a month-to-month basis. I can also invest in my retirement as well. And these are all good things. And there's plenty of information on all these apps. They give updates, links to different research and sites to help you figure out more about the company it is that you're investing in. And that's all important. And that's one of the number one things that you need to do before buying a stock is invest. And so one of the things that you need to do when you start investing is you need to find a strategy. And I'll do another video on different investment strategies, but I'm gonna share mine. There's this huge thing where everybody's trading, and nothing's wrong with that. Like you just heard me say, I trade a little bit, but I'm a long-term investor. I guess what you could call a passive investor, a lazy investor. But long-term investing is always work. Trading is not necessarily new, but there are a lot of people doing it. And my saying is, well, it's not my saying, but a lot of people saying is money gained soon is money lost soon without financial education. And with long-term investing, that's something that's been laid out for a long time. I follow greats like Warren Buffett who have shown and proved that this works. And there are plenty of people who are 401k millionaires, IRA millionaires that have done it the long-term way. And so this is my strategy to help me get to that point and guarantee that I get to that point. And I put DCA in parentheses down here, and that stands for dollar cost averaging. That is the name of my strategy. I highly recommend you guys go look that up. I'll share more on that. But the whole basis of dollar cost averaging for me is I have a list of stocks that in my portfolio that I own. And I initially bought X amount of shares in each of these, and over a year's time or any time period, anyway, I'll take the amount that I invest in total and buy more of those stocks over and over and over. I'll just keep buying them, and say it is in a year. So once a month, I'll buy more stocks of each of the ones in my portfolio, depending on how they're performing. And even then, I'll still buy some, even if they're not performing well, because it's like the stocks are going on clearance. You can buy more and have more. And because of volatility, you'll almost always see a gain in this. And so that's a really good strategy that I recommend. I'm not telling you to do it, but I recommend it. And again, I would give more information on different investment strategies so you guys don't necessarily have to go look them up. But I want this information to spark something in you guys to go open up a book or go look on Investopedia or Google something, figure it out so it can be in the back of your mind all the time. This is something that you don't want to play with because 20, 30 years down the road, when you feel it's time to stop working, you want to be in a good position to be able to do that. And so moving forward, on this last slide, just kind of a brief overview. So pay yourself first, live below your means with positive cash flow, your emergency fund, a big one, invest in yourself, your career, and the market. That it's as simple as that, guys. I don't really have anything else to say as far as giving this brief information on how to get started or kind of a guide for you to get started. But open up a book, Google something, use Bing, use something to go find this information, even YouTube, anybody else's YouTube channel. I'm giving this information free to spark it in you guys' heads. And I want you guys to know that somebody as regular as me is doing it as well. I'm not doing anything special, but some by the book things that have allowed me to achieve some pretty cool stuff, in my opinion. And I want you guys to do the same. I want to live like nobody lives today, so I can live like nobody lives tomorrow. In the words of Dave Ramsey. And again, that's a huge thing. Deferred gratification is everything. So with that being said, I'm asking you guys again to like, share, and subscribe. Comment questions, message me. Go look at my information on my page. I've got links to 3 or 4 different things, my Instagram, my Facebook, and then one of my websites. You guys can go in there and shop. You can go in there and ask questions, comment questions below. If you know me personally, message me. But I ask you guys again, just share this to one person. Whether you share one of my previous 3 videos or this one, share it to one person and help them start their path to achieving financial freedom. Again, thanks guys. Like, subscribe, and share. I'm gonna keep saying it. I appreciate you guys. See you next time.